All righty, I see we are back. This is Benj episode 10. This is actually my first time doing this live, so there's going to be a few kerfuffles here and things, I'm sure. But we're going to talk about three stories really quick today. I'm glad to actually see everybody back here. I'm glad to be back here. I mean, for this to be our 10th episode, they say most podcasts don't make it past 3, so we're already on 10 so far, and I've been doing my best to try to be as consistent as I can on this whole thing, trying to get a schedule together and things of that nature. But I'm glad to see you all back here. Um, our first story that we're going to discuss, I may as well just get this whole thing out of the way. We're going to talk about everybody's talking about this whole Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf story here that everybody just seems to be all in a tizzy over. So let's get their image up here. So Carmelo Anthony has been sentenced. He's been sentenced to 35 years in a court in Texas, and there's all these people that are gathering around and whatever. And there's a whole thing out here. But my issue with this whole thing is I just don't think that anybody actually cares about this. A lot of people say they care about this, but I don't think they actually do. People have been asking me what my thoughts are on the whole thing. I mean, my thoughts are that I'm just glad that it's over. So all the race baiting, clout chasers, and Twitter gangsters, black and white, who are looking for viral moments can find something else to do besides getting clicks and clout of exploiting this tragedy by making it racial. You have all these random ass influencer people reporting from outside the courthouse for what exactly? What are these people doing there? They're just there to cause trouble and to chase clout. So he's been sentenced. There's no more social media money you made off of your ancillary contrived drama. Next, moving on. That's how I feel about it. So in other news, in our political news, I want to talk about some actually good news here. We have some good news here in California. Steve Hilton has moved on to the general election ballot in California by some type of miracle. Thank God. I honestly, looking at what happened to Spencer Pratt, I didn't think that he was going to make it through, but he has made it through, and he actually beat out billionaire Tom Steyer, who was endorsed by Bernie Sanders, by the way, which is so funny because I thought Bernie Sanders was against the billionaires. The billionaires are bad, but I guess, the billionaires that he likes, like Tom Steyer, who are pushing, whatever progressive policies that he wants or whatever, or just are cool with him, or possibly gave him money or gave him another beach house like Hillary Clinton allegedly did after he quit the 2016 election, 2016 primary at the convention that was here in Philadelphia. But, hey, we have Steve Hilton. He's made it through. So I'm glad he's made it through. CNN's actually reported on this. So let's put the CNN report up here and make this thing official.
On right now. So
let's see, here we go. Start that over again.
Here, but first, we do have some breaking news. We can make a projection in the race for governor in the state of California now that Steve Hilton will be advancing to the general election. So he will be advancing along with Javier Becerra. That means that Tom Steyer will not advance to the general election. But this means that Republican Steve Hilton will advance in the California race for governor to the general election. And you can see that is the vote count here that we are making this projection here at CNN based on right now. So
there we go. Steve Hilton has made it on through. I mean, I'm very happy for him. He's actually a really nice guy. I met him in 2018 when he used to have his Fox show. He was a former Fox host. He had a show on Fox. I met him at Fox Studios. Let me put up this cringe picture of myself with Steve Hilton back in 2018. That's us there, me looking crazy there. But yeah, he's a really nice guy. He's actually really short because I'm like 6'1". So imagine he's got to be like, like 5'8", 5'9". So he's not the tallest guy in the world, but he's a really good guy. And I'm glad to see him advance in this way. But the only thing now is that he has the whole California Democrat machine to go up against. And at the end of the day, I mean, they're finding ballots and votes and all types of shady things going on. I mean, is he really going to be able to make it for real? Are they going to let him actually win this election? I think there are a lot of Californians who do want change, but are they going to actually let that change happen because, as we know, there's all types of ballot boxes and they can count votes, 2 and 3 and 8 weeks later, and people come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden these heavy Democrat districts are saying that, oh, we didn't get votes here, now there's votes there, and yada, 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 yada. So, I mean, he has the whole Democrat machine to go up against him. With him being the governor, he's going to have a lot of control over how voting would go through moving forward. So imagine if he were to win and he were actually to make some changes in the California system, similar to how they made in Florida. Imagine if there were no more, ballots and voting 10, 3, 8 weeks later. That's a lot of power to bestow upon someone. So, I mean, would they actually let that happen? And according to the New York Post, there's actually reports of homeless people there. The Democrats are actually getting homeless people to vote in the mayoral election. So let's just show you a look at that. I actually have a video here to show you guys of that. Where is that video? Do I have the video here? Oh, here it is. This is the video.
Yeah.
Oh, you did for Karen Bass?
Yeah. Karen Bass. Right. That's what I was saying, Bass?
Karen Bass, yeah. Or Nithya Raman?
Karen.
Karen? They told you to vote for Karen?
Yeah. They had to sign a little thing.
And how much they pay you?
It was like $2.
$2? Oh, to sign off on a thing to vote for her?
Yeah.
And so they do this for everybody out here?
Yeah, they come out here all the time.
Oh, they just get everybody to vote out here, huh?
So they're out here giving, and God bless this lady. I don't want to exploit what she's going through. Obviously, addiction is a very hard thing, to go through. I mean, I have family members and people I know that have been affected by addiction, so we're not making fun of her. But it's just really messed up. They have random people that are out here struggling with addiction, random crackheads, fent heads, whatever they are on Skid Row, and they're giving them $2 to vote for Karen Bass. And important that it's Karen Bass, even that he made that distinction from Karen Bass and Nithya Raman. Karen Bass is the actual sitting mayor. She's the incumbent. So this is their actual system. This is like the mayor and the mayor's office is sitting people out, or people that are affiliated with her somehow, to go to Skid Row and get votes from people who are homeless. So this lady has no home, no address, yet she's voting. So Steve Hilton has his work cut out for him. I wish him the best. I hope he's able to get through. But a part of me still thinks that California is just too way off to save at this point. But if they're able to get Steve Hilton through, he can make major changes. California can actually get their voting system together and not be so shady and, ridiculous. So Godspeed to you, Steve Hilton. Like I said, nice guy, good guy. I really wish the best for him. So, like I said, today is going to be a quick show. So our last story of today, I actually want to talk about one of our musical legends, none other than Madonna. Madonna's been shocking a lot of people lately. I have a picture of Madonna. This is actually from a photo from her stage performance at Times Square. She's promoting her new album, Confessions 2. It's supposed to be coming out on July 3rd, and there's been a lot of videos on the internet and a lot of chat on the internet about her performance here. So let's take a look at a video of the performance here. So people are saying that, she's a 67-year-old grandma. What she know if they're in her panties? She's catching all kinds of seizures and things, but look, I'm a child of the 80s and the 90s. So as I get older, I'm saddened by the fact that we're losing so many of our icons, the icons of my childhood, Michael Jackson, then Prince and Whitney, they're gone. And then now you have, Mariah Carey and Janet Jackson, they're starting to wind things down with age. But, Madonna, she refuses to retire. I mean, that's her. Madonna's always been shocking. She's always done things that have, made people get people's attention. And she's still doing that. So she's performing in Times Square, as I said, to launch her new album, Confessions 2, coming out on July 3rd. A lot of people are upset about this. But look, none of this is new. Like, Madonna was simulating masturbation performing Like a Virgin 40 years ago. And, while I definitely would have liked her to embrace a somewhat more, age-appropriate persona, that's not who she is. You know what I mean? She's cringe, but she's always been a little bit cringe. I mean, you cringe, but you can't look away. But all her antics aside, I actually am heartened by the music that she's putting out. The music, I've heard it, I've given it a listen, and the music's actually good. Here's a clip of one of the songs from her new album. She put out like a 10-minute long form video that's like giving a little sample of like 6 of her new songs from the album. This is the one I really like, the song called One Step Away. We'll play this real quick.
One step away from your freedom, one breath away from the gentle blood, one step away from your heartbeat, one step away, yeah, one step away, even in the shadows, where there's nowhere left to hide. Nighttime comes before the dawn. It's salvation. All God's children can be saved. We're all waiting for our freedom.
Not bad, very reminiscent of the Madonna that I grew up on, the Ray of Light Madonna. I was actually pretty heartened to find that like her music is actually pretty good. I have to say, with all the crap she's doing, all the stuff and all the things get people riled up, all the overtly sexual stuff, the underneath it all, the actual music is actually good. So I'd say, check it out. July 3rd, I like that song. I like some of the other songs she was coming out with. So I'm just glad to see that she's out, she's around, she's performing, you know what I mean? She's not dead. So many of our legends and stars have died. Some people from the monoculture. I mean, I'm from the days where, we would watch, Madonna on TV, Whitney on TV, Jen on TV. We watch, the Cosby Show and Roseanne, and these shows would have like, 20, 30 million people watching. And in today's streaming age, that's just never going to be. We're never going to have those type of stars, those type of talents anymore. We're never going to have the American worldwide monoculture anymore. So, Madonna, she is a vestige of that. And again, she may be a little cringy at times. Things like, oh my God, like Madonna, could you please not do that? Like, could you like put some clothes on? But that's who she is. She's not trying to be something that she's not. And we can appreciate for what it is. If you're into, dance pop music, if you're into, electronic dance music, EDM or whatever, not a bad record. For me, I'm a little bit of everything. I like, I can go from Madonna to Mississippi Mass Choir in one sitting. I'm a little bit of everything. I like all kinds of music. So I have to say, Madonna, not bad. Not bad at all. So with that, like I said, today's show is going to be a short show. We're actually ending today's show with that. I'm actually like super late for an oil change. I have to get an oil change in my car. I'm like super duper late for it. I'm supposed to have been there. I'm supposed to like be there actually like right now, but I was like, I do the show right quick before I go. So I'm going to go and do that. But you guys can check out more episodes of the show, longer episodes of the show at benj.show, http benj.show. Just put that in your browser. I'm also Benj Irby on everything. This is streaming right now on like Kick and Twitch and X and YouTube and Facebook and like all of my things. So you can check me out on all of my things. I don't even know if I had chats open for this. I'm still learning how to use this damn thing. You also can hit me up on any one of those things. Hit me up on my DMs. My DMs are always open. Send me a message, whatever. And we'll have more as time goes on. But thank you so much, you guys, for viewing, watching today. Catch the replay, and you guys have a wonderful day. God bless you. Have a good one.